You know, the beauty of this gig, in the way I have chosen to do it over all these years, you don't say sorry for opinions. I mean, say sorry if you do something wrong, but like, you watch a game, you give a take, and there's no sorry, right? You just move on. Example, I messed up with Juwan Howard. I didn't think he'd be a good hire. Messed up. I ain't saying sorry to you, but I'll acknowledge it. I got it wrong. So here's the point. Today's going to be a struggle for a lot of you guys because you're not going to like what I have to say, and I don't really care. Multiple things can be true. You had a good season. Juwan proved a lot of people like myself wrong. That's true. Here's the other thing that's true. That's one of the worst losses in Michigan basketball history. You will never, ever, whether Juwan coaches 5 more years or discovers the fountain of youth and coaches for 500 more years at U of M, you will never have an easier way to get to the Final Four than playing one of the last 4 teams in who was in the play-in game, who was an 11 seed, who cannot play with any pace because they don't have enough talent and don't have enough players. And you walked into that game last night and couldn't break 50, shot terrible in pressure free throw situations, and missed your last 8 shots from the floor in a tight game, right?
You blew it!
That was a nutcracker game. Missed your last 8 shots, including not 1, but 2 in the last 20 seconds for a chance to win the game. And they were open looks. One of them on an illegal screen that Ray Charles would have took exception to. That is a choke. I can't even believe we're doing this show today. I can't. That you literally said, you know what? We don't want a Final Four banner. We just don't want it. Take it. And this is the fun part, Rico. Before all the rats want to scurry and get upset, remember something. I'm not saying you suck. I'm not saying your season was a waste. I'm not saying Juwan Howard's a bad coach. I'm not saying any of those things. But here's the deal you make with the devil. I hold your program to a higher standard than you do. I, and along with my beautiful radio partner, Rico Beard, we believe you're a top 8 blue blood program. So here's what I want you to do, and play this scenario out in your tiny brain before you call. If that was Kansas last night, if that was Duke last night, if that was Kentucky last night, if that was Gonzaga last night, what would you say about that performance and that result? You would mock them sideways.
What if that was
You would
his,
say it was a massive choke.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. There's no need for pretty language. Michigan basketball gagged away a Final Four. That I'm incredulous towards what I watched. 248-539-9797. That, Rico, it's as bad or worse than what Michigan State did against Texas Tech a couple of years back. That it was insane to watch that last night.
It was, because using the Michigan State Texas Tech, the road to the Natty was there. You beat Texas Tech and you play Virginia, who
you always beat.
Tony Bennett wants no parts of MSU. They beat them in rock fights, but they beat them. It was yours. It was your title. You lost to Texas Tech. You had to watch Virginia hoist a trophy. That was your trophy. Last night,
this is your Final Four.
Yeah.
It's right there.
You had a team from the play-in game, from the first 4 game, a team that technically, according to some, didn't really make the tournament. You had them right there. You didn't get Alabama, the number 2 seed. You got the 11 seed. And all you had to do was make the layup. And you're in Final Four, banner, and now we're sitting up here saying, hey, can you hang with Gonzaga? We don't have to have that discussion anymore because you couldn't get past UCLA. You went 10 for 20 on layups. Your two players, and Franz Wagner and Mike Smith, went 2 for 17 in shooting shots, especially their hero shots at the end. You couldn't score 50 points in 2 halves. In 40 minutes of basketball, you couldn't get to 50 points. That was a bad look. That was a choke job. I don't know what I was watching. That was, Mike, yeah, you may get your shot clock wish today if you run that past me, because that was horrible basketball. But in all of that, you still had 4 opportunities to steal a game. Had you won that game, you should have went straight to the Washtenaw County Sheriff and turned yourself in because you stole it had you hit one of those shots. Damn. But you didn't.
And when your boy Zhuzang rolled his ankle, I'm like, all right, here's their opening. They're down 9. They can't guard this kid. He rolls his ankle. He's gone. They make the run. I'm like, okay. Like,
yeah, I thought it was over.
They're going to seize control. They're going to get this thing. And again, it's not a fashion show. No one cares if you win by 1 or 100. It's the result. But when you lose and you don't score 50, when you lose missing 10 layups, when you lose missing free throws, and they're good free throw shooters doing it, do you get a little tight? You get a little nervous? You had 2 looks, and Rico's spot on about this. It is very rare that you are given a reprieve in a late game situation with 19 seconds to go. Zhuzang misses a free throw. He's a 91% shooter. You don't even need the 3. Mike Smith had a good look. We can talk about whether he should have continued pressing Bob Marley and maybe tried to put him in the basket, or the pull-up 3. Hey, Mike Smith's made a lot of big shots. I'm not going to knock the kid. You got a reprieve the second time around. You get away with a moving screen. Wagner wide open. That's a choke. And if you're a Michigan fan, to me, I don't want to hear this, well, it was a fun year. No, stop. Just stop, okay? You guys still get upset when a garbage football team loses to OSU and nothing's on the line. You're not allowed to minimize a Final Four. I said this to you guys yesterday. I love the Final Four. I adore those banners. And it didn't matter if Gonzaga knocked your head off by 50. Make the Final Four, put up that banner. Mm-hmm. Man, that is program credibility.
Yep.
Just like you winning the Big Ten. That's a big deal. That's a banner. They matter in college ball. I know you don't get, prizes for not winning the Super Bowl. Last I checked, this is college basketball. That's the NFL. Don't minimize this. Don't do that, because I know your routine. I know you. That was a gag. And if I'm a Michigan fan, I'd be livid. Rico's right. It's never going to be easier to make the Final Four when you're in the regional final and you weren't staring a Kentucky, a Kansas, a Michigan State, a Gonzaga, an Alabama, whatever. You weren't staring any of those in the face. Think about it. Everybody called up and said it. This game's a shoo-in. My confidence level's 10. My confidence level's 9. I don't even know why we're playing the game. UCLA blows. To go out, and again, it ain't like UCLA played well. It's not. This wasn't some 86, 83 shot-making, shot-taking fiesta. This was Mick Cronin going, here's the deal. I'm going to take the shot clock down to 1 every time. I'm going to force you to play our pace. And I'm going to hope you guys don't have your A game. And Michigan didn't have their A game. They didn't have their A-. They didn't have their B+. I don't know what they had. They choked. They choked, man. When good free throw shooters start missing free throws, choke. Mm-hmm. When you start missing wide open shots under 4 minutes, it's a choke, man. And those are the moments you rise up.
Wait, you couldn't even take advantage of their choke job. Johnny Zhuzang's a 91% free throw shooter, and he left it on the rim. He left the door wide open. You make a 2, overtime. And their big man, Riley, had already fouled out. Maybe you should have thought about overtime. You would have had the advantage. You went for the hero shot. Okay. Except for your 2 heroes were having horrible games.
Am I letting Mike Smith off the hook by having no problem with that shot due to the amount of time that was left?
You are, because here's the thing. You're not going up against a 6'5" guy. As you would say, Bob Marley is the same height as you. Drive to the basket.
And he was backpedaling.
Right. So no matter what, you just got to make contact, and it's an automatic foul on him, and you take it to the line, and you may hit you may hit the shot, and it's a free throw to win the game. But taking the three, it goes back to it's the whole Steph Curry syndrome. I want the hero.
Let me see what the people have to say. Let me see what Enrico. I'm cool with it, man. I'll stand down. I didn't have a problem, and I just didn't.
Because here's the thing, Mike. If he was playing the way that he did, was it LSU or what? Then you shoot that shot. Of course, you're red hot. You're on. I would have rather seen Chaundee Brown shoot that shot because Chaundee had already hit 2 or 3 of those threes. He was ready to go. I would have had much more faith. Mike Smith was not passing that ball when he ran it up the court. He had no teammates. It was.
Can I tell you something? Can I admit something very dirty?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to turn Roberto on. This is dirty. I really, when I watch Chaundee Brown play, I envision him wearing green and white. That dude is a Spartan. That's a dog. Mm-hmm. Like, D's up, built like a brick bleep house. Has hit some big shots for them. He's just a dude. Like, I look at that and I go, damn, I wish we had him. I shouldn't like Chaundee Brown.
No,
do.
It's the same reason why I love Derek Walton. Because I'm like, Derek Walton's in the wrong colors.
Yeah. There are the occasional Wolverines I dig. You know who else I do like, honestly? Because he seems like a great kid, and I like the way he plays, is Livers. Livers, to me, is like a guy, I wish I could have changed his mind and been like, son, walk away from the dark side. Come towards the force. Please.
Well, Livers grew on me, but, it was one of those, you were only going to get one or the other. So you were either getting Livers or you were getting Tillman.
It's my fantasy.
Oh, my God. And one day, remind me, I'll tell you about how that Mr. Basketball went down. Oh boy.
That'll be in a getting to know Rico. That's what I want right there. 248-539-9797. So straight up, I mean, that's a choke. Let's get your reaction to it. We can talk about the Mike Smith shot. Kind of what side of that you're on. I think we should talk a little bit about Juwan too. But again, all of these things are true. You had a really good year, and you just gave away. I really believe you gave away a Final Four. Which to me, ask these coaches who go 20 years between Final Fours. Mm-hmm. You don't have room to give them away. Mm-hmm. It'll never be that easy again. A shocking loss last night.